Today we're talking lighting, and specifically talking lighting with GlareOne. We've got 4 lights and modifiers, and we're in this lovely studio here in East London with our lovely model Sarah, and we're going to just go through kind of what it takes to actually do a photo shoot and kind of what each of the lights are doing. Let's go. So this GlareOne LED 300 is our key light, and this is a bicolor D. And actually, before I talk about this, it's important to mention that actually our set is comprised today of constant light. With LEDs, even though traditionally they don't have as much power as flash, these new range of LEDs, they do actually pack a punch, and these certainly do. At the moment, I'm actually running 11% power on this key light, so it's pretty impressive. But also the beauty about using constant light is that you can almost build a set or a shoot in the same way that a cinematographer would. You can actually see what your changes are actually doing kind of live, both with your eyes and also when you're monitoring on camera, which I think is great. Let's go through this particular unit first. It is a bicolor, so this is a non-RGB light. So if you do want to add more color to your light, you would actually then have to put a gel somewhere in between here, and you would access that via the diffusion panel. So you can just stick a gel in there and stick it down with some gaffer tape or something, and that can give you different colors. Like corals, for example, are quite good. You can actually get some unusual colors, and it isn't actually that big a deal to do. As you can see, access is very, very straightforward. We've got double diffusion here just for a really, really soft look. You do have the option of removing one of these and just keeping one of the diffusion panels on here. Also, as you can see here, the construction is amazing. These all slot into place, and they're as easy to put together as it is to collapse down when you want to pack them in as well. And here we have our fill lights. Now, this light here is slightly different to this one. It's not as powerful. This is an LED 220 bicolor D. So it's still a bicolor like this one. It just has a little bit less power, which is fine because this is only being used as a fill. So aside from that difference, we also have a very, very different softbox here. This is a rectangular softbox. This is called Softbox 25X100 Pro. Again, the construction is phenomenal and really, really easy to build. Now, in terms of what the light is doing here, we've actually got a diffuser inside here as well. There is an option to put another diffuser rather than having this grid on here, as well as the grid if you want real soft light. So this is the third light in our 3-point lighting setup, specifically to light Sarah. This is the LED 220, so the same as our fill light. The only difference with this one is that we've actually got this huge unit here, which is effectively a projector unit or a spotlight unit. So this is a Spotlight Pro, also by GlareOne, and it's an attachment. It also has a balance mount, so it'll mount in the exact same way as the softbox is there. So this allows us to actually narrow the beam to whatever we want and almost any shape that we want. So you have these blades here that effectively narrow the path of the beam that comes from the LED and goes through the projector. So you can have kind of a lot of functionality with this, and we're largely using that today so we don't have massive spill when we use this light to backlight Sarah. And lastly, we have our final light here, which you can barely see hidden behind our key lights. That's also an LED 300, it's the same as this one. And this one really is just providing illumination for the background, so it just doesn't look kind of mushy. We do want to bring out that pink a little bit. So we're shooting with a Canon R5 and a 50mm RF 1.2. At shooting at f1.2 or even f1.4, it creates a very soft, natural glow. Now, obviously we have to use that sparingly because we do want to have most of Sarah's face in focus, but quite naturally it will create a glow and a softness, especially when we're using the backlight here. Okay, so we've actually changed the setup slightly, I would say. We've actually brought the fill light a little bit closer, and we've actually upped the power a little bit on the key lights. The reason for that is I like seeing how much I can push the overexposure. Obviously Sarah's quite fair and she's got blonde hair, and it's nice to see how far you can push that exposure to really bring out that glow. At the moment we're shooting at f2.8. Because Sarah is slightly turned more to her left, it actually means that I can't shoot fully open because only one of her eyes would be in focus. So that's something else to consider. but I do like the fact that it's overexposing slightly, but not at the point that it's clipping. And it's actually really, really pleasing, creating a really, really soft glow. Because before I get you to move your whole body, on this one is more like you're pivoting. So I would say rotate your hips more. That's it, there, perfect. There, perfect, keep that there. So I changed the look slightly on what we're doing with Sarah. Initially, we were almost overexposing her slightly. For that second look, I decided to actually crank up the power on the backlight to make the back of her head really, really shine, the back of her hair really shine. And I also whacked up the power of the key light. Both went up to 54%, whereas they were at about 11% before. But I also decreased the aperture on the camera to f16. So hopefully that gives you an idea as to how much power these lights actually have. Yeah, that's really good. And just face me over here. I think I need to reposition that. One of the things that I'm really enjoying about these lights is the modifiers and how much they come with. So sometimes with other brands, you do have to buy the grids as well as a double diffuser. With these lights, everything seems to come with them. So especially this one here, the grid came with this softbox as well as the double diffuser. And it's really, really good because it means that if you buy this kit, you can just get exactly what you need straight out of the box. So obviously you can do a million things with these lights. You can diffuse them further if you want, but I think what comes with them, you're pretty much getting really, really good quality of light straight out of the box. So one thing to mention about these lights, I think I may have mentioned it already, is the fact that they are bicolors. That means that you'll just get tungsten light as well as daylight. So obviously you can mix tungsten and daylight if you want to create mixed lighting. However, if you do want to change the look of your lights, then gelling up is something that you would have to do. It's not a problem. Gels are a great way and a very traditional way of actually changing the color to what you want, but you won't have full RGB functionality on any of these lights. So really we just wanted to show you kind of what these lights are all about, but also kind of try to show you kind of specifically what these specific lights can do. I was here on my own for the first part of the day setting up, and that was the thing that I was dreading the most, and they were incredibly easy to set up. Normally softboxes can be extremely rigid and very, very difficult to build. These were nothing but a joy to use. I was really impressed that most of these lights actually came with double diffusion as well as some with the actual grid panels, something that a lot of other light manufacturers might not be able to offer. So these will work straight out of the box. In terms of the functionality, they've been nothing but flawless all day today, and incredibly surprised by the power that they offer. These two here, the 300s, they have a power output of 365 watts, and these two, the 220s, a power output of 265 watts. I was amazed today. I could pretty much do everything I liked, shoot at f16 or shoot at f1.2, and these lights always had my back. And I have no doubt that you could actually use these outdoors as well in really bright sunlight. So overall, a great set of lights. Really, really enjoyed using them and how easy they were to use. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.